aerobic and anaerobic training, when you think about it in the most basic level, aerobic training is with oxygen, anaerobic training is without oxygen, right? And that's the level we're trying to get you to. That's the level that really makes the magic happen. So when Maxim was saying that insanity isn't necessarily cardio, if you think about typical group X classes, that is a cardio class. You are usually working from 50 to 80% of your heart rate. Now, that isn't to say that you're not working hard. You are, but it's at a different level. It's at a steady state. When you do insanity, we're working in those 2-minute intervals with 30-second recovery periods. And during those 2-minute intervals, we want to get you to 80 to 100% of your heart rate, which is getting you to that point where at the end you're like, sucking wind, can't do anything else, right? And that's where you want your participants to get to too. So if you see people and they're kind of chilling and they're doing whatever, remind them it's only 2 minutes. It's a 2-minute interval where they need to push as hard as possible, and then they're going to get that 30 seconds. They can take the break, they can get their water, everything like that, and then you push it right back up. When you do that, that's what's the max interval training, right? Because it says in here, interval training is 10 seconds to several minutes. We take it a little further. We go to the several-minute mark. We do that 2-minute interval so that we're really, really going hard. And then that we push it even further when we put the power move in, and we do 3 minutes of really, really intense intervals. So that's anaerobic training. That's what's going to get you that incredible result. So let's talk a little bit about the benefits of aerobic versus anaerobic training. So on the cardiovascular system, does somebody want to read to me cardiovascular system through respiratory system? Anyone? I know, volunteers, feel it. If you don't, I'll read it for you and I'll do an automatic reading. Oh, I got a hand. Wonderful.
The cardiovascular system consists of the heart, arteries, capillaries, and veins. The heart acts as a pump and has 4 chambers, 2 on the right and 2 on the left. The effects of aerobic exercise on the cardiovascular system: improves heart strength, increases stroke volume, that's volume of blood pumped per beats or stroke, increased blood flow, increased number of capillaries in the muscle. The respiratory system. The respiratory system supplies oxygen, eliminates carbon dioxide, and helps regulate the acid-base balance of the body. The respiratory system is comprised of the lung and a series of passageways leading to and from the lungs, mouth, throat, trachea, and bronchi.
Perfect. All right, so some of you are like, okay, that's really neat. And it is one of those things where you read that, and it's not necessarily something you're going to talk to about with your class, right? You're not going to be like, let's talk about the heart chambers with your class, because they don't care, right? What they care about is that you are going to increase your aerobic capacity. So all aerobic exercise is going to do that for you. You're going to increase your blood stroke volume. You're going to increase your heart's strength, and all of those kind of things. And you'll get that from aerobic training, 50 to 80%. So that is a good thing. You always want to strengthen your heart and your lungs, so you want to do that kind of training. I'm not saying that you only want to do HIIT training, because that's actually better too, right? You want to have a kind of a balance of both. But when you do the HIIT training, we're going to go to the next page, or the next little slide with your finger. Yes, perfect. And we're going to go into the benefits of anaerobic training. So I'm going to kind of paraphrase this first one for you because I think it's so cool. We have all these little bullet points. Number 1 is efficiency. So max interval training is the ideal workout for a busy schedule. Whether you want to squeeze in a workout after work or get in shape for a fast approaching event, research shows you can achieve more progress in a mere 15 minutes of interval training, done 3 times a week, compared to jogging on a treadmill for an hour. That is incredible. Everybody's busy, right? You have time, you're doing your schedule, you're trying to get things in, but you can do a 30-minute insanity lunch hour workout and get incredible results from it. So that's the kind of stuff you want to think about. Also, I think this study is really, really cool. According to a study in 2011, just 2 weeks of high-intensity intervals improves your aerobic capacity as much as 6 to 8 weeks of endurance training. Incredible. Again, when you read that kind of stuff, that's exciting. That's the kind of stuff that you're like, wow, about, especially as a fitness enthusiast. When you read that, you're not like, that's cool, I guess. You're like, wow, that's awesome. So, next thing, a healthier heart. Like we were talking about, when you exercise, your muscles require more oxygenated blood. When you have more oxygenated blood, regular exercise is going to improve that, strengthens both the cardiovascular and respiratory system so they become stronger and more efficient. Again, just something that you want to think about. Anaerobic training is going to push that to another level. Losing weight, not muscle. So, has anybody ever tried to lose weight in here? I know, right? I'm amazed that like 2 people raised their hands, because usually every single woman's like, yeah, I played that game, it's no fun, right? And you know, men too. So with losing weight, a lot of times because you're at a calorie deficit, you're going to lose some muscle mass. And it's just an unfortunate side effect. But when you lose muscle mass, you're losing the calorie burning part of your body. Because fat doesn't burn calories, muscle burns calories, right? So when you do anaerobic training, and especially stuff like Insanity, where you're doing things that really directly involve your muscles, and you're doing push-ups and stuff that is sculpting you at the same time that you're actually getting a workout, you're going to preserve that hard-earned muscle mass and lose more fat than you will muscle. Not to say that you're going to lose all fat, but you will lose more fat than muscle, which is going to help you with weight loss results. Another really cool thing. Increased metabolism, number 4. Everybody wants this, and I think this is really cool as well. Max interval training, what we do in Insanity, increases human growth hormone by up to 450%. 450%! That is a huge number in the next 24 hours after you finish your workout. That is huge because HGH, sorry, does increase calorie burn, but it slows down the aging process, which means you are getting younger inside and out. When people look at you, when you look at people and they lose a lot of weight, one of the things you notice, first of all, is how healthy they look, how young they look, how vital they look, right? When you look at them, it's not just about like, oh, your clothes fit better, or you look thinner, right? You look at their face and they look more vibrant. That's because when you work out, the human growth hormone is released and you really, really are getting younger from the inside out. It's a cool, cool thing. Number 5, burning more fat during and after class. Now this is the coolest part, right? So, you work really hard during Insanity. You leave Insanity and you're still working hard because all the effect of the intense exertion kicks your body's repair cycle into hyperdrive, which means you will burn more fat and calories in the 24 hours after a max interval training workout than you do if you were just doing steady state cardio. I like to tell this story just because it's kind of cool. Now, I've never done this with Insanity, and I probably should do it with Insanity because I bet the results are insane. But, haha, insane. But what happened, I wear a body belt from time to time. When I do workouts that are structured in a way that actually, that incorporates high-intensity interval training, like turbo kick, what you do, you look at it, and I burn 500 to 600 calories during a turbo kick class. During the hour after turbo kick, I burn 200 to 300 extra calories just by sitting around, doing whatever, because my heart rate is still high, because I worked so hard that I'm getting the afterburn. So, like I said, I've never done it with Insanity. I can't even imagine what it would be, because the entire workout is high-intensity interval training. So, like I said, those 5 things that you look at right then, when you look at those results, you want those results, right? When you look at it, you're excited by those results. You want to tell your class about those results. When somebody comes up to you and they're like, what's the difference between Insanity and a normal class? You can tell them, well, let me say, it's going to increase your metabolism, you're going to burn more calories in and after class, you're going to increase your human growth hormone, all these things. It's going to be a huge, huge deal. You're going to have a more efficient workout. You can put less time in and get bigger results. That's the kind of stuff that's going to keep people coming to class every single time. Because if you're just like, oh, it's a high-intensity interval class, it's pretty cool, you like it, you know, they're going to be like, okay, and they might come. But if you really sell that format and you tell them the real benefit, which is not a lie, this is science right here. Beachbody does their homework. They really do this. They do these studies. They look at these results. So when you get these studies and you show them those results, they're going to come back. And that's what you want as an instructor, is for your participant to come back. Because when they see the results themselves, which takes about 4, 5, 6 weeks, something like that, they won't ever, ever stop coming. And then they come to this thing because they're so excited about fitness that they want to do that. Because doesn't that kind of excite you? When you read this, does that not excite you way more than just like, I'm going to increase my cardiovascular and my respiratory fitness? Like, does that not excite you more? Right? It's exciting! Be excited, right? The coolest thing about it is epoch, which somebody in my training called epic. It's really, really funny because it is epic, but it's actually epoch. So I'm going to turn it back over to Maxim, and he's going to talk about epoch and the effects of it.